Terrific offensive team. Stat-wise, they might be the best in the country. I didn't check today, but they just really score it. Rodney Hood and Jabari Parker, can score in bunches, make threes, drive you. Obviously, they're pro players, and Quinn Cook is a guy that's really improved. He really hurt us last year at their place. Makes shots, can create. They're just, as you would expect, a very talented Duke team that's playing very well and provide a lot of difficult matchups.
What will y'all have to do tomorrow to win?
Well, if we can defend at a high level, I thought we defended well last night. But it comes down to offensive execution for us. We got to make more plays. Certainly, we can't turn the ball over like we did last night, and we got to have probably a little more balanced scoring. Find a way to get the ball inside a few times, and then just our perimeter guys, our main guys, Rod and Roper and KJ, are all going to probably have to play well.
In terms of defending their three last night, you held Florida State 1 for 11.
Yeah.
Is that maybe one encouraging thing from the way you played defensively last night?
Well, I thought defensively we were very good. If you take away the three baskets where we just threw it to their team and they dunked it, the field goal percentage numbers were good. The three-point numbers were great. We certainly did a good job on our three-point shooters and have done a good job of that all year. It's a difficult test with Duke. They've got so many guys that shoot it. It's a little bit like when we played Arkansas. There could be anybody that comes in there and makes shots. That's a big challenge for you. So that's certainly one of the keys is we've got to do a good job of, at least if they make a bunch of threes, we got to make sure they take a high percentage of shots that are three-point shots. Now it's, they've got the ability to do other things, so it's not like you can just focus on one thing consistently and expect to win. Last night, that was part of our plan with a couple of the Florida State guys, and again, I thought it was pretty effective defensively. Just our offense was not good at all.
One of the challenges, I guess, in the quick turnaround, practicing today, it's got to be cerebral because you got to put in the Duke game plan, but you probably want to instill some energy back in the guys, but can you do that when you have to play tomorrow too? Well,
yeah, you can do some different things. We met early this morning and reviewed some film. We're going to meet here again in a second and talk about a couple things, and then practice for a little over an hour and begin to get into Duke. I think our guys will have energy. I think they're talking about a sellout crowd and opportunity to play one of the premier programs in the country. Our guys should have energy and juice. You certainly would like to have a little more time to prepare and put in a defensive game plan and devise some things offensively to help you, but you can't make as many changes in 36 hours. You kind of just got to go with what you're doing and make one or two little adjustments and go play. But I think to start, our guys should have great energy, and hopefully if we're playing well, we'll maintain that throughout the course of the game and feed off our crowd.
Is that something that could be good about the quick turnaround, to be able to get back on the floor after a couple?
Sometimes it is good that you bounce right back into it, and it's time to go again. And if you play well and you kind of wipe the memory away a little bit, there are other times as a coach you probably would like to delve into more practice and get better at some of the things that you need to. Certainly when you play a team as good defensively as Florida State is, they expose a lot of things for you and give you more things to learn about your team. They were, you go back and watch the film, and I thought both teams were very good defensively. They were excellent. They made it really hard on us. Even when we did break loose and somebody was there to rotate quickly, I thought their defensive discipline was outstanding. And, we didn't get any free ones. We just didn't get enough. We got one run-out dunk early with Landry, the first 2 points of the game, and it seemed like forever until we got another one. And we weren't disruptive enough defensively. And credit Florida State. I thought they played very well last night. Very well. I thought they were very motivated and followed a plan and made it hard on us.
As a staff, how did you guys prepare for this little 2-game stretch when you had, like, I guess 4 days between games? Did you have, like, maybe one guy?
Yeah, we
before
just,
state?
yeah, I mean, we take turns. Earl had the scout last night. Mike has the scout. So he's been watching since he had Boston College. So he had the Boston College scout. And ever since Boston College, he's been focused on Duke. And so he's up to speed on that. You know, I watched our game last night and started watching Duke tape, you know, till 2:30 in the morning, and then got up early this morning and started watching more. And so I kind of get up to speed with that, and we've been meeting on it all day. And so that's probably normal operating procedure for most programs.
I've read earlier this season that the new charge rule has affected Duke as much as anybody because they used to like to take a lot of charges there. Do you notice, watching them a little bit, they're playing defense any differently?
Well, I think just like everybody, you're not as able to protect your basket as well as you would like sometimes because it's just so hard to get a charge call from a secondary defender. And certainly they were as good as anybody in the country at doing that. And I mean, they're still trying to do that in some ways, like we all do. You know, the problem arises if you're going to get a charge, you just have to be there so much earlier, and sometimes it's almost impossible to do that. It's like you got to know that, you know, have ESP and know the guy's going to drive before he leaves. But at the same time, it's something we're all dealing with, and you know, it's certainly affecting the game.
Knowing that a lot of their stuff is based around the perimeter, they're going 4 out pretty much. Tinker with the rotation at all in terms of personnel packages?
I don't know. You know, we just have to have some of our guys play better. We've played KJ at the 4 some in certain games and been smaller, and you can do that a little bit, but it's hard to do that for long periods. You know, then you become small because KJ's undersized, but then we already got undersized guys, so we're undersized with Roper at the 2. You know, Rod, I guess, is average for a 1 or 2, depending on what you want to call it. But we become undersized at like 3 positions at once, and so sometimes in rebounding and all the other things, just in doing it and watching it, it hasn't been as good as you would normally think it would be. It's certainly something we've looked at. It's certainly something we practice. It's something we use in certain games for bits and pieces, but for extended periods, it really hasn't worked as well, you know, as maybe we would hope for another way to play a little bit differently.
You talked last night about not giving the fans a chance to get up out of their seats. How important is a fast start?
I think it's important. Yeah, I think it is important. You know, last night, you know, it was just a difficult game, you know, and it's hard. I understand fans don't appreciate the finer points of the defensive. I mean, if you're a defensive-minded person, last night's game was really good for a long time because, I mean, both teams, when I went back and watched the film, I thought our guys played even better defensively than I thought they did initially. You know, you go up to halftime, it's 21-17 or 16 or whatever it is now, or was. And there's a reason. It was hard to find a shot. I mean, it was hard to find a good shot for both teams. And when you did find one, it's like I tell you, you feel like you got to shoot it so fast because people are coming, and you just don't make as many. And there wasn't the transition. There was pretty good transition defense, very physical rebounding. It was a very, very physical game. I was surprised and pleased with how physical our big guys like Josh and Landry really were battling in there. I mean, there were physical blockouts and getting back and playing post defense and keeping the ball out. Both teams were fronting the post a lot. I mean, it was work. It was hard work, and it was well played that way, but that's not what everybody wants to see. And so it was, from that standpoint, probably for most fans, it was hard to watch some of it. Now, when we start turning the ball over and have careless turnovers, then it becomes no fun. It doesn't become fun for anybody. It's not fun for us. It's not fun for the players. It's not fun for the fans. Then it's poor offensive basketball. Now, some of that's the defense, and other part of it is just carelessness, and it's a wearing effect mentally of the stress of the game and the intensity level of the game and the stress that every possession is putting on you. And I think there's some of that our team succumbed to a little bit. And that's, you know, being in those type of games, you hope that hardens you for the next experience.
Duke typically has lost 3 games have one league game until February typically. Do you detect a chink in their armor at all, or?
Not really. I mean, they lost a 2-point. I don't even know. Haven't had long enough to memorize who they've played and all. I mean, they've played a very hard schedule. You know, they lost a 2-point game to Notre Dame in their first ACC opener. I'm sure the place was rocking, and I mean, they just lost a road game. So I'm sure they're ready to go again, just like Florida State was after the Virginia. I thought Florida State came in here really ready to go after having lost a game, and I'm sure that Duke will be the same way. And their guys will enjoy the atmosphere as well. They'll be excited about going to a place that's sold out and good atmosphere to play. And they haven't played that many true road games, so those things kind of get you going as a team too, to try to get some good quality road wins.
How much you've seen of Parker through the season, but from what you have seen, where would you rate him compared to other guys you've seen come through the college game at his age?
Well, I mean, since I was at mid-major for most of my career, I didn't see many guys like that.
Yeah.
So he's pretty doggone good. 6'8", 235, making threes, turnaround jumpers, driving the ball off ISOs, and I mean, he's a pro. He's an unbelievably gifted guy that plays with great confidence. And what seems to be really good about him and is that he's a great person. And it's nice to see those kind of young men, do well in this game. And he seems to have stayed very humble and is a good teammate. And those are the good role models that we're looking for in our sport.
In terms of guarding him, is that a KJ assignment, or are you going to do some different things on him?
I don't know what we're going to do. He's really bigger, so it might be probably a bigger guy. The hard part obviously is it's not like they're a one-man band. Rodney Hood is unbelievable. I mean, his shooting is tremendous, and they just have a lot of guys that can make baskets. I mean, that's how you have the best offense in the country. So it's really, it's difficult to figure out, well, what can we do, to plan, and it's not like we get to practice much, so we just got to kind of come up with something quick and get committed to it, and get our guys in a good frame of mind and go compete. And that's what it's about, is going to compete. And we've got to get past where some poor play on offense frustrates us, and we get shaken a little bit and lose our edge. I don't think we lost our edge until late defensively in the game, and it was just after all the frustration offensively. And that can't happen tomorrow, or it will be a tough day.
Given Duke's scoring average, do you sell your team on, hey, let's find out how good our defense really is? This is a great opportunity.
A little bit. I mean, you talk about the challenge of it and all those kinds of things. I mean, you certainly talk about, let's see where we stack up against a really good team. Let's, really good offense, really good team. How do we stand? Last night we found out that we got a lot of things we got to get better at. This is another opportunity, a quick one, and it's an exciting game, and I think our guys will really be ready to play.
Any other questions today for Coach? All right, thank you.
Larry Brown Sports.
Yep.
He's working hard. Appreciate it.
Well, he was coaching at SMU now.